guys. Donald Trump says he's with us. We might as well. He's better than she is. And I don't think that Donald Trump is going to cave.
A little bit of setup stuff going on. Sorry. This is Jess. It is February 23rd, 2018, Friday morning, around 7:15 a.m. This is chat session number 115, and I'm really perplexed that as a nation we allow all these senators and congressmen and stuff, the whole government up there, the federal level, they're on such a take from so many businesses and organizations, and it used to be unethical, okay? The idea of using your seat of power to enhance your self financially or other ways, through gifts and different things for favors in return, stuff like that, the conflict of interest there. But apparently they voted something in the Supreme Court said that senators, they're all for sale. And it happened right in front of our eyes. Everybody saw it on the news. There was outcry. People were saying boo, ha, he, and the other ones were saying yeah. And now we're getting what we allowed to happen. The actual effects. And this is a hot topic right now, this crap about this school shooting, and it's turned into this big, it's making people really choose hard side. They're taking away the middle ground in a negotiation of the Second Amendment, and I go back to one of those guys. I think his name is Rubio. I don't even remember what state he represents or where, what his deal is, but he receives money from the NRA. I mean, from what I got, from what I saw, the reports and different things, is that he thinks it's okay, and he believes in the NRA, and how can we sit idle while the abuse of power in our government is it's almost suffocating us? We're past seeing it. We live in it. It's happening continually. What happened? Why is it all loud? What is all the nonsense? Isn't it nonsense? Everything used to be for the people. Now it's for them, and they act like we owe them. The NRA, Second Amendment, and I don't know, but I think they overextend their power. But now they've got all these people in their pocketbooks, in their pockets. with money. They throw it out there to these guys, and they protect that legislation that's there. You know, I'm for the Second Amendment. You should be able to have a gun if you want one. But I do believe in common sense to that you don't want somebody who's incompetent having a gun due to maybe their mental state, maybe they have prior history of abuse, physical abuse, domestic disturbance, that kind of stuff. I think it should be imposed rules on being able to buy a gun. Now, I can turn right around and say why, because if they want a gun, they're just going to go get one off the streets, and if they're turned down legally, they're going to go get it illegally. So really, you're just driving it into the streets. It becomes a little more risky, but not really. They're not doing nothing about nothing. So all this, oh, let's do good, let's enact legislation, and we have so many laws that are just there for the convenience of whenever something comes up and it's a law that no one enforces, no one cares about. And a lot of them have to do with guns. A lot of them have to do with the whole gun arena. If you want to have a gun, get a gun. Who gives a crap? But it's just meet somebody halfway, who just wants to say, hey, maybe it would be better if we kept the guns out of people who might have been in the mental institute for abuse or to themselves or to someone else, harmful stuff. Keep the guns out of their hands, at least legally. Like I said, if they want them bad enough, they'll go get them illegally. I mean, what's another law breaking, right? It's got to end. And it's not going to end as long as the United States government's bought and sold to the highest bidder, and those are the things that legislation gets passed on. They've lost the people. That's all these big wheeling and dealing behind the scenes, make me richer, greed, clusterfuck. I don't know why I've sat so idle. I guess too involved in making a living over all their dumbass rules that they impose on us to go out and make a living. I never understood why somebody who doesn't make money and gets assistance is allowed to move into a... No, this is Texas, okay, so is allowed to move into an apartment based on their income, and then somebody that pays their bills and wants to live in that same apartment complex can't because they make too much money. Tell me how that benefits anyone. You want to allow people to be able to afford places to live, right? But they've got it locked in. Those are the only kind of people that are going to live there. Nobody that pays the bills and does things is allowed. At least that's what the apartment people say to us when we go in. And they're nice apartments. I wouldn't mind moving into them. But they said I make too much money. And I make crap for money. I work a lot of hours for nothing. Now, I have an apartment. I have a car. I eat. I smoke cigarettes. That kind of, I'm so off track on so many things. I'm just so upset. I'm just not upset, but I'm getting this desire to throw myself into this mess and start really trying to be a voice of some of this stuff that's going on that nobody wants to talk about in our government. I mean, yeah, they might say, yeah, it's on the news. Well, a few rich people on all the news agencies, so you're only getting their view. I mean, I have nothing against CNN, CBS, Fox. They're all propaganda tools for the people who have the money. All of them. Whoever owns that station is giving you their view of what's going on. So if you live by one, you only get that view. I mean, so, is it okay to be a senator or to be a, in the government, an elected official, and take money from people that have big groups that, voting matters, state-wise and different things, where you're from, and then to openly say, yeah, I take money. I received $234,000 last year from blah, blah, blah. Is that right? I don't think it should be, and yet I think it's legal. And I wonder if anything can be done now, if it can be reversed, if And let's talk about this thing, this government shutdown that's going to be pending again. They keep financing it for a few days, blah, blah, blah. I think that the first people that should lose their salary is every one of them people up there in the Congress, in the Senate, in the House, all of them. They should be the ones to lose their salaries first. They say, oh, we're going to have to lay off all these people because the government's closed, we can't afford to pay people. Well, you're getting paid, you work for the government, lose your salary. I guarantee you they might come up with some solutions. And I'm talking about zero, it's done, you don't have no money coming in. Not that they need it, they're all wealthy. I mean, it may not even matter. They can survive a long time probably without a paycheck. It's just, there's so many avenues to consider, and so many people are influenced in the wrong direction of how they should look at other people. You say you want to emulate Christ. Well, Christ wouldn't look at people with hate. And yet they say, oh, we're Christians, we're all this, but they hate people for what they believe. Can't have both. You're either the devil or you're not. You're the devil's minion if you walk around and say, yeah, I'm a Christian, I believe everything about Christ, and I hate you for that. Can't do it. Doesn't work. You either are or you're not. And I think they had the words for them guys back in the day, the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Yeah. Modern day, I think we have some of that going on. People who proclaim Christ on the outside in front of everybody, but behind closed doors they're the devil. If I'm speaking to you, then you know what I mean. I hate to run on. I know I'm just rambling and I'm gonna get focused. I got home at about 4:30 this morning, after working all night. Like I said, it's around 7:20, 7:30, somewhere in there, a.m. So I'll be going off to sleep soon, because I got to work again tonight. Have a great Friday morning. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, alright? Have a great Friday.